Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be the Booktube Newbie tag. And I was going back and forth all week wondering if I wanted to do this video, but I ended up filming it, obviously, because you're watching it. Basically, I only started this video like 2 weeks ago, so I thought I could still do this tag. So I'm gonna get started. I have all the questions on my iPad, so if I'm looking down, this is what I'm looking at. So the first question is, why did you start this channel? So basically I have two reasons. One is a pretty selfish reason, and then the other one is kind of like everyone else. My first reason is kind of for memory purposes. I like the idea looking back like 5 years ago and seeing all the books that I have read, and it kind of create memories too. I know there's Goodreads, but I feel like it's different. I feel like a video, you can see yourself, and I don't know, I thought it's different. And I also want to start doing reading vlogs, or just like vlogs in general, for memory purposes. So yeah, that's my first reason. And then my second reason is like pretty much like everyone else. I don't have that many friends who reads as much as I do, so I kind of wanted to find this community and be a part of this community to just talk about books all day long. But yeah, those are the two reasons. I used to have a booktube channel like years ago, maybe 5 years ago, and only for like 2 or 3 months, so nothing really big. But yeah, I had to stop for like several reasons, but I always wanted to go back to it, and I thought after after like 2020, like why not? And it's one of my goals too, just to keep it up more than like 3 months and see, just to see. The second question is, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to booktube? So that's a hard question, because I feel like, I mean, we're all different, so we all bring different things, but at the same time, I mean, I don't know if I can bring anything super unique. I do want to bring back Teams TBR. Basically, when I started watching booktube, TBRs were themes, and I really want to bring back, I think it's the readables. Her name was Priscilla, I think. I'll try to find her channel if it's still up, and I'll link down below. But I don't think she makes videos anymore. But she used to, I think she was the queen of theme TBR, basically. So she would pick like 4 books that were all surrounding one theme, and then at the end of the month she would just review those 4 books. And I want to bring back this kind of concept. Basically, I am going to start in February. I haven't done a TBR for January yet, because I was kind of debating if I wanted to do this, but I think I have decided I want to do this. I already have my theme for February, and it's not romance. So consider subscribing if you want to see more about that. Basically, I'm going to pick one theme per month, and then I'm going to pick 3 or 4 books every month surrounding that theme, and I'm going to do a reading vlog for these 4 books. And then at the end of the month, I'll just review those 4 books. I'll obviously read more than 4 books a month, I think. Normally I do read more than 4 books, but that's one of the things I want to do that I don't think, maybe people do this, but I just don't know. If you do this, comment down below, because I would really want to look at your channel, because I love that concept, the theme TBR. That's one of the things I want to bring that's maybe more unique. I don't know if it's super unique, but yeah. But I don't know, like, yeah, that's a hard question to answer, because I think we're all different at the same time, so we're all gonna bring something different. Yeah, that's it. Question number 3 is, what are you most excited about this new channel? So several things, like I said. One, obviously meeting new people, and meeting people who read books and want to talk about it and want to discuss about it, and that are bookworms. That's obviously one of the most exciting thing about this community. And then secondly, obviously, is for memory purposes. I'm excited in a year to look back at all the videos that I make and see what I read, and just, it's for memory purposes as well. So yeah, those are the 2 things I'm the most excited about. Question number 4, why do you love reading? I mean, it's kind of an obvious reason. Just, I love escaping in a new world, escaping in a new story. I love fantasy and romance books. Those are my 2 main genres. I am dabbling into not sci-fi, mystery and like horror. I've read a few like thriller books last year. I think I read like 4, and like 1 horror books. So I'm like slowly dabbing into it, but I haven't read like too much. But fantasy and romance are my 2 favorite genre, and it's just like getting lost in a new world and getting lost in a new story, and that's why I love reading, basically. So I think that's pretty much everyone's else answer. But yeah. So next question is, what books or series got you into reading? So the obvious answer would be Harry Potter. I got them when I was a little kid. Basically, I was 11 when I started reading the Harry Potter series, and it's the first book that I remember reading. So that's obviously one of the, like, some of the books that I read when I was a kid. But like more recently, I mean, it was the Hunger Games. Basically, I discovered the booktube community because of the Hunger Games and all of that like crazy phase of dystopian books. I used to love dystopians. It was like my favorite genre for like the longest time. I read The Giver when I was a kid and I loved it, and then when I discovered like later on that there was this whole genre of like books that were kind of like The Giver, like The Hunger Games, Divergent, The Maze Runner, Match, all of these books, I loved them. But yeah, so recently it's probably the Hunger Games series. Not super original. That's my answer. So next question is, what question would you ask your favorite booktubers? Ooh, that's a good question. My favorite booktuber. I mean, I probably have two. I have Gabby Reeds. I love her. She's like more of a chill kind of like vibe. I really like her. And I have Brittany the Bibliophile. Those are my two main like big booktubers that I watch. What question would I ask them? Just That's a good question. I don't know what would I ask them. I would have to think about that. I don't know what I would ask them. I would just like maybe like for them to recommend me books. That would be like a really cool like experience. Like personalized recommendation, not just like at large recommendation. But yeah, that would be a cool experience for them to like personally recommend me books that they read. That's a interesting question and one that I didn't really answer. Sorry. So next question is, what challenge do you think starting a booktube channel would be the hardest to overcome? For me, it's basically to be consistent. Like I said, I started a channel a long time ago and I never continued on. And to me, that's one of my goals, is to at least put on one video a week for the whole year. So that's the hardest challenge. And also, I mean, it sounds weird, but actually reading. I get into moods where I love reading and I read like 15 books a month, and then the next month I read like 2 books. So once again, consistency is probably the main challenge for me. But I think once I get into the routine where I know what days I'm going to film and what days I'm going to edit and like that, I think that's going to be easier for me. But yeah, that's my main challenge. So next question is, when did you start reading? I think it goes back to the question where what books or series got you into reading. I started reading when I was a small kid. My parents would always read me books before before bed, basically, and that just continued on in life later. I started reading when I was a kid. Basically, I had like, oh my god, the like Babysitters Club that I used to read, and like there's all these books that I used to read. I don't have anymore, but yeah. Next question is, where do you read? So I read pretty much everywhere. I read in my bed, I read in the living room, and when we used to go out, and I used to have a job where I would have like maybe a 30 minutes commute back and forth, so it would basically be an hour. I used to read in the bus and subway. To me, that was like the best moment to read. But now, since I work from home, I don't have that commute, so I basically read in bed or in my living room on my couch. And then the final question is, what kind of books do you read? I read mainly fantasy and romance book, or like contemporary romance book. I do dabble a little bit in thrillers. I love thrillers, but my problem is I'm the type of girl who basically will stay up all night reading thrillers. Like most of the thrillers I read in like 1 or 2 sittings, which I can't do because I have to get up early to work. I don't have the luxury anymore to just stay up until like 3 o'clock in the morning reading a book. But yeah, but I really like thrillers too, but I just don't read them as much. So these are all the questions that I have. Yeah, I hope you guys like this video, and if you made this video, please leave a link in the comments so I can go watch it, and I will see you guys in my next video.